Welcome again to this topic of critical aspects of operation of pumps. We have discussed in a previous session about turbines. I have split this into two, and now we are discussing on pumps. Having discussed much in detail about the turbines, the pumps discussion should be shorter. Classification of pumps is on principle and manner in which energy transferred to liquid, two major divisions, dynamic and displacement, that you are aware. Dynamic is energy continuously added to liquid, displacement energy periodically added to liquid. This is the main classification. What we say in dynamic, there are many. In displacement, we have got positive displacement pumps. Dynamic centrifugal is well-known name, especially for farmers, agriculture use, small discharge height uses. Axial for a large discharge in low head applications. Mixed flow, it's very common in especially in the industrial and large power plants in process industries, etc. Mixed flow radial pumps, single, double section, self-priming, non-priming, single stage, multi-stage, open impeller, semi-open impeller, closed impeller, etc., especially for sewerage application, etc. Special effect, jet pumps, gas lift, hydraulic ram, etc. Okay. Pump parameters are, as I discussed in turbine, discharge, or it is called flow rate, head, and speed. Discharge is volume of liquid passing across the section. Head is work done per unit weight. Speed is RPM. It's popularly known. Centrifugal pumps cover extremely wide range of three parameters. Head may vary from a fraction of a meter to 850,000 meters, etc. This is, we are talking about centrifugal pumps. Discharge may vary from few liters per second to 20,000 liters per second. This is the range of use. Speed may vary from 100 RPM to 24,000 RPM and above. Hence, a single parameter is required to enveloping all this range of parameters. So that is known as specific speed, introduced, which combines all three in one expression, that is n root cube upon h 3 upon 4. It's also known as shape number or type number, that you are all aware. I don't discuss much in detail. Direction of flow through impeller, flow classification based on direction of flow through impeller. It's radial at right angles to the axis of rotation, radial flow. Flow partially radial, partially axial. This is called mixed flow. Flow parallel to axis of rotation, axial flow. Pumps classified as per this flow directions. Okay, radial is flow is transverse to the axis of rotation. Axial, it is parallel to the axis of rotation, and mixed it in between. Okay, this is the radial, you can see, mixed you can see, and axial is along the shaft. This is the typical structure of these three type of pumps, pump impellers. Radial flow pumps ranges from 10 to 80 metric units. Head per stage is 100 meter. Mixed flow pumps catering to 80 meter to 150 metric units. Head per stage 25. So axial flow pumps 150 to 300 head per stage is only 10 meter. So per stage, if you see, axial pumps are very less, but large discharge is possible. Radial flow, it can go up to 100 meter per stage. These are the type of impellers. Axial, Francis means vertical turbine, it is otherwise known as. Then you can see from here, when you go up in the head tables, type of pumps is axial to single stage, multi-stage, then VT pumps, then to displacement pumps for large head. Pump would deliver variable flow rates for variable heads. Variation of head with the flow rate is HQ curve. This regarding the performance curves. Efficiency with the flow rate is called efficiency discharge curve. Variation of input power with the flow rate is PQ curve. All are governed by specific feed NSCRs. It is different for different specific speed. Okay, this is the type of. You can see efficiency is high for large discharge pumps. Below 40 typically is having low. This is a case of, say, our typical centrifugal pumps, monoblock pumps, etc. Their efficiency may be in the range of 50 to 60% monoblock centrifugal pumps. But in special application pumps, it can have higher than 90%. Okay, that is top of the curves there. Impulse profile with the specific period. You can see profile how it changes for low specific speed. You can have radial, then it is slowly changing to mixed, then shoulder impeller, then axial. It is development. It is earlier. It is like a fin. It is radial with the impeller length also may be higher, but it is catering to low discharge, but head is very high. Here at the extreme and right, it is axial. The discharge catering to is very high. To avoid cavitation only, the large area is available for our as a conduit to move. So friction losses are less. Cavitation is also not very severe. This is the one typical closed impeller turbine pump runner. See, you can see this is a high head turbine, and this is low specific, high specific pump. See, this is a axial, high specific weight, low specific mixed flow, vertical turbine type of pump, impeller. Okay, this is a multi-stage high-speed pump, vertical turbine pump, horizontal split casing. Okay, this performance curve. Curves of characteristics are pump would deliver variable flow rates for variable heads. Variation of flow rate with head is HQ curve, and efficiency discharge curve. Basically, usually x-axis is discharge, and y parameters are either efficiency, head, then input power. These are the main three parameters in the y axis. So typical curves are like this. Here you can see first curve in the top. First curve, it is for radial. Here you can see efficiency is, it is gradually changing. It is steep changing, and the efficiency expected as below 100% discharge is very less compared to others. Take the case of 7 axial, efficiency expected is very high in the, and the range of such a high efficiency is very wider. So axial pumps is typically having higher discharge compared to the centrifugal type or radial type of pumps. In between, VT pumps come, say mixed, that is curve number 5. So you can see the BHP curve also, and also head curve. Head curve, see, head curve is, it is falling like this, 7 for axial, and it is a horizontal, a typical nature, you know already, it is like this. parabolic like. Classification shaft positions. We can classify pumps on based on horizontal or vertical. That shaft positions. Horizontal shaft further classified as end section, side section, bottom section, or top section, etc. That by the nomenclature itself. So sections, nozzle at end of shaft, horizontal end section pipes. This we use it in auxiliary purpose. Monoblock is among this. Okay, horizontal side section pump. You can say we can for side both sides we can suck water and deliver it at the center. Okay, bottom suction pump. Reduce the width of pump house, right. Horizontal top suction pump, a vertical pump. Here, vertical, especially vertical turbine pumps, what is its advantage is the horizontal floor area is very less requirement. The two arrangements are available, dry pit or wet pit. Floor space is saved, large floor is catered, but yet with the smaller pump house. The cost involved in construction of the powerhouse is very less. So you can see in larger catering to large discharge, you can see most of the places VT pumps are there, and pump house is very, very smaller compared to other centrifugal type of pumps. So this is vertical turbine pumps only, but dry pit arrangement. This is wet pit. It is what turbine is directly immersed to the sump. Okay, motor is at the top. With the help of a bend, deliveries take place. Okay, proceed selection. This anyway, it is given. You can go through. This is the head terms used in pumping. You can say suction head, delivered. If delivery is dropping at this point, also delivery is measured only up to this, not to the top. This you keep it in mind. And this particular arrangement is always better because delivery will be always filled on, and then there is no problem of air cushioning. Okay, this is the typical system curve, and if system curve is here, so our pump performance is limited to this point, that Okay, this is this is a typical selection curves for centrifugal, say brochure of Kirloskar family of. For our requirement, we can click what type of pumps, what should be the speed of pumps, this kind of things. Now I'm discussing another aspect. We have talked about operational aspect and their design features. Now, what hurts the pump operation? That is, as in turbine, the operation of or efficiency of turbine is affected by, say, valve closures, discharge, how far it is away from its rated discharge. It should not be too away from the rated discharge, then its efficiency. And it should not be made to operate in that level for a low cavitation is likely to, especially in Francis and axle type of turbines. But same is the case with the Pelton turbines also. There, if you are operating it in a smaller discharge, then the needle requirement, the jet reflection is possible, imbalance of the needles are possible. So always recommended practice is to have it operated in a rated discharge. These turbines usually, suppose 4 turbines of say 60 megawatt, rated at 60 megawatt, 4 units are there. If you need just to develop a 60 megawatt or 80 megawatt, you should not operate all 4 units at 15 megawatt, and people are usually doing it because for easy of starting and maneuvering. It should not be done. Either you use it for 48 and 40 each in 2 units, or one in a 60 where best efficiency and the other in a partial. So this kind of arrangement should be there. It's very at the operation point of view. So here in pumps, what is required, what is effective most in a pump performance is the sump levels, sump design. Sump design is very, very important with all its parameters that for a healthy performance of a pump. It appears sump is half of a pump performance. It is something like the best brand of a shirt is not useful if it is not fitting to the right person. So that measurement, how it fits best into a sump is very important. So proper designing of a hydraulic structure like pump sump is required for effective and efficient performance of pumping system. A defective pump sump design may lead to surges, vortices, velocity fluctuation, bulk circulation, air entrainment. Hydraulic model studies of pump intake systems are performed in order to obtain its satisfactory performance and to ensure better flow condition across the components of a pump sump system. So pump is not standalone system to have a efficient performance. It is working in tandem with sump. Then only best performance is expected. So this is some of the model studies starting from 1916. CWPRS was involved in. This is some Kathalguri project, I believe. These are some old pump intake studies reported. 1977 studies for pump intake. This title I am not able to read. This Singrauli super power station done in 1981. The various aspect of model construction is shown in the depicted in this picture. This is for NPCL well done bark. This study was done in Tarapur Atomic Power Station. This was actually half of the model is done. This is a mirror image of same thing is there duplicated in another portion. So half of the study was, half of the discharge is concerned, half of the model is constructed, and very rigorous analysis was done. You can see from the C entry, they have given us so much of curved path that should have been avoided, but since it is giving a curvature, its circulation is expected here, and many experiments are done to get away with better performance. This is some of the photographs with the water level variations. You can see violent the turbulence in the pump intake. This is one we have done for PhD Bhopal. This is one typical pump intake for a good performance as per BHR or Hydraulic Institute standard. It should be a very diverse one. Velocity should be very moderate, and it should be separated by peers. These are the number of pumps. It should be located like this, and the dimension I shall show in next slide. So this is this performance. This is as per standard practice, and it is. And this kind of study, if some pump sump is actually implemented, even without any model studies, we can go ahead with the implementation. Okay. Okay, these are some other. So air entrainment is waterfront reservoirs, sumps taken to turbines, pumps, flow transition, open channel to closed quantity takes place in the pump. The very typical aspect of sump is that the water into sump is open channel. It is a open channel flow, and the entry into the suction pipe is It's a closed conduit. So this makes a very different transition from a open channel flow to the closed conduit. Here, one is influenced by Freudian law, and the other is influenced by Reynolds law. Formation of surface entering problems at intersect are formation of surface air entrainment, formation of subsurface air entrainment, undecimal rotation in flow in entering impeller blades that affect performance of that pump. Okay, a, a drastic drop in flow rate and efficiency is possible if sump is not proper. 1% air entrainment can give 15% drop in efficiency and also flow rate of the pump. Up to 5% air can drawn can lead to 80% drop in flow rate, severe vibration, cavitation, and in this kind of situation, we should not allow the plant to operate, and it may lead to a catastrophe. We have seen this kind of situations in Kakrapara plant, in some many plants. This kind of wrong sump designs give lot of problems, operation problems. How are vertices formed? Shape of upstream and geometry, as I have shown in recent one more model here. There should not be so many curvatures. The streamlined flow should be there, and so many turns should be avoided. Inadequate water cover, that we'll discuss. Vertically shared by boundaries. Rotation builds with the gantry flow velocities increasing towards intake, leading to air entrainment. Okay. Subsurface vertices are high velocities under water, local pressure drop to vapor pressure. Air becomes out of solution, which is drawn to intake. Nothing is noticed from surface, but adverse effects of air entrainment lead to inefficient operation of pumps. Take a pre-rotation like that. Liquid mass entering impeller with no surface, subsurface, but has verticity or rotation component. This rotation disturbs angle of attack on impeller blades designed for parallel flow. It is not parallel, it is inclined, so efficiency decreases. Off-duty or less efficient operation of machines is possible with these conditions. Allowed limits of pre-rotation is that pre-rotation as defined can be maximum 5 degrees only. This is the standard practice. This is the in a velocity triangle, this angle can be maximum 5 degrees, not more than that. So this is the surface swirls. We can see here. This happens with the a side entry, central entry, etc. But in as I shown in a trapezoidal way of flow propagation, there should not be a big issue. So this is it's anyway not very important. We'll go. Here we can see flow is taken directly from a bottom of this one like this, but not immersed. The suction arrangement is not immersed. This is also not recommended. Here, the recommended practices are, you can say here, there are nomenclatures for a structure of a sump. You can place a pump at the side, but side distance X should be can be least 1/4 of the diameter, well mouth diameter, and this space half diameter. This clearance, where is it? C. C can be half diameter. These are the standard practices where we can fit. There is no much benefit if you place this bell mouth, say 1 meter, 1 diameter or 2 diameter above from the bottom. You can limit it to half meter. Then you will get better performance and it can operate in the lowest water levels. Good features of multi pumps are, it is given here. No sharp cuts. It should be curved. You can go through this in, say, all should be curved. And see, recommended practice, the minimum suction above this pipe is 1.5 diameter. This is minimum requirement, not less than that, for best performance. Of course, there may be exception to go away from this standard practice. This is the arrangement, how it should be. Year one recommended guidelines for all those discussions compiled in one table is like this. The width can be 1.2 compared to diameter of the suction pipe. This is what recommendations for the Hydraulic Institute standard. This is for British BHR. So these are the comparison. The suction is above 2.5 is better. Length can be 5 times the diameter. These are the recommendations for true standard. If you base the design of a sump according to this, there should not be any problem in operation of pumps, and you are safe. Including velocity range, it is 0.3 meter per second. Here 0.33. So around 0.3 is a very good safe approach velocity of water in the sump. Okay. High inlet velocity, I said, it can be 0.3 meter per second, but higher is going to have problem in pump operation. This kind of poured water into such a situation, because there will be always bubbling air content in the water, it is never recommended. This kind of arrangement is never. How is the typical arrangement of a pump is something like this entry, then gradual diversion, then pumps align in a transverse, in a way direction, transverse to the flow direction. But if one after the other, if pumps are placed one after the other, it will keep a space for separation of this flow, and this waking effect will be there. The wakes from upstream intakes will have serious effect on the performance of the succeeding intake. So this kind of arrangement is surely create problem one after the other pumps along the line of arrangement of pumps is in the same direction of velocity. Then this is never recommended. It should be transverse. Okay, like this. But there are people who have put this pumps in this arrangement and face difficulties. Okay, side entry is not allowed. Direction is this, water entry from the top here. This is one unconventional sump I have shown. This was suggested here in Nathpa Jhakri hydroelectric power plant for some water makeup water requirement. There were 6 pumps placed one after the other. Flow is here. It is something like this. Elevation is like this. What is the actual excavation? 70 to 80, maybe some 18 meter depth. Here it was placed, but it was a very, very wrong design. It was referred to us here sometime in 1998. Then our observation, it is a very wrong design. It will have a very bad effect on the performance of the pumps. We have taken them to Kirloskar Brothers also to have their own views also on performance. They were also of the opinion that this is never recommended. But the situation is that they have floated the tender, ordered for the pumps, and the work was stated. At this stage, they approached CWPRS, but they said, whatever the damage is done, it is done. Now we have to have some modifications and bring to the acceptable level. Then what was done was that from the flow, the first pump was removed and it was placed below, and we have suggested to, in place of 6 pumps, we have suggested to have only 4 pumps. I mean, little increased discharge. They have accepted. There was a free settling place for this approach, this one, and the spacing was increased. Then we could come to an acceptable limit in the performance of the turbines. Then what are the remedial measures to smoothen the flow? We have suggested is that anti-swirl cone, a cone like this, is with the 2 wings like this, is kept beneath the suction pipe so that it will kill the circulation. I think you are able to appreciate the construction of the anti-swirl cone. Then swirl arresting baffles, that is this, we can keep that, so that there was continuous circulation broken with the presence of a stopping baffle, vertical baffle wall. And piers, okay, this is a typical view. The problem is okay. See, after evaluating the model, modifiable hydraulic distance of pumps, of better layout could be evolved. Design with the standard guidelines could be accepted without a model study. Design against standard practice could be accepted with the rigorous analysis. Modified design followed by physical model study, as in the case of Nath Bajakri, as I explained right now. When non-standard designs are involved with these variations from hydraulic institute standard or BHRA standards, we need to have model studies. That is very essential. Unusual features of some conducive to vorticities are involved. Designer wants to reassure himself. Okay, here pump sump studies may cost to the agency something like 10 to 20 lakhs of rupees, but some detrimental effect in the pump performance will cost crores. So that is always better to have a model study done before implementation of a pump system. Okay, these are the 2 numbers, as I already said, Reynolds number and Freudian number. In Freudian number, gravitational is important, and Reynolds number, inertia force is of predominance. Okay. Take these scales, etc. What is the procedure for model study? Stabilize water level in model to highest value. Set model velocity as per fluid similarity. Go on reducing water level slowly. Observe surface, subsurface vortices. It is a qualitative study. Repeat this to minimum water level. Okay. This is a study of fluid motion. CFT modeling. Here it is explained. You can have a look. These are some of the codes given, some of the typical studies done for studies like Kayangulam, Korba, Kakrapar, etc. Recent one is also written something like, say, a physical model study where ideal region of seat of government of Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, PhD. The pump intake system designed for by Tata Consultancy, Nuclear Power Corporation, 2 into 500 megawatts at Trombe. This study was undertaken in CWPR. This particular study investigation was reported in ESC Journal of Civil Engineering in I think 2000 as a discussion paper. You can see. This is what CFD has done, and to verify. So you can see where are the problems. So in circulation, it is likely to have a separation. You can see in the CFD analysis also, as also observed in the experimental studies. Okay, this is only have a insight into this aspect. You can explore, those who are academically interested in this, you can explore more on this CFD. There is a separate CFD team doing this kind of studies in CWPRS. And this is for same numerical corporations, NPCL's study. You can see the study experience involved. You can see where are the problem areas. You can see this performance, the central pump, how it is different from others. The problem, it appears centrally safer compared to others. See this. This modification was done, curvature is done. This was a sharp curve. So in any hydraulic structures, we have to see to avoid the changes should be gradual and it should not be sharp, as we can see from here. This the vertices propagate. How vertex propagation is measured with the kind of swirl angle by the vertimeter, like this. It rotates and rotation is counted. That is how it is evaluated. You can go through this in detail. This swirl angle measurement, the CFD and experimental results for the same model. You can see variation is in higher experimental results, and this in a way it has a projected higher CFD values. This is the limit of CFD. It has projected unrealistic values at the adverse conditions. So it limits the use of the CFD. So proper validation is essential in this kind of scenario. Okay. See actual propagation of stream flow in pump intake. You can see here it's pre-circulation. This is the Kayankulam combined cycle power plant model studies carried out and associated with CFD. This was done in 1997. This is recently 2 years back this study was done. Here I don't have much time here to discuss in detail. Earlier I was discussing how the pump orientation should be. Flow is approaching, flow is having a diversion, and pump should be arranged in a way transverse to the flow. The axis of arrangement of pump should be transverse to the direction of flow in the open channel arrangement, that is diverse from start to pump end. Away from this is Khargon Thermal Power Plant in Madhya Pradesh, NTPC. They have proposed 3 pumps to be placed in a circular arrangement, a circular well like this. This is the entry, 4-bay entry. And we have seen the model was done. First of all, I am little hesitant to recommend this kind of circular arrangement for the reason that circular is attuned to give circulation, attuned to give verticity. So it is best to avoid circular pump intakes. This is placed in the circular, in the center of the river, so it is made circular well. But as far as possible, one should avoid circular pump wells, and you should try to explore use of banks for construction of pump house and arrangement of pumps in the transverse direction at the bank. Then it should, the structure is something like trapezoidal. Here, as expected, there was a lot of circulation, so much of problem. NTPC also did not agree for this arrangement. Then we have to separate with these 2 separator valves. Then it was made compulsorily by, as a compromise. We have By compulsion, we have cut this into a circular portion, made to a straight portion by this construction. It is actually this, everything was done after full excavation, and they have gone too deep into excavation, and well was constructed, entire circular portion was constructed, then it was blanked off with a vertical wall to have a smoother hydraulic performance. So in this CFD modeling, you can see this. Then only better performance was done. See, this is the approach, the circular approach. Here, I think in next slide, you can see the pump, two baffle walls are given, and I think in the next, you can see this one. The circular is cut into a straight. This is the actual geometry of the pump intake. Okay, that was the intake. I don't have the actual experimental pictures, but with the much difficulty, so much of hydraulic experimentations like this, with the separating walls, separating horizontal back wall, then clearances. Also, we had to change with all this one, with the great difficulty. NTPC also accepted this arrangement, and this implement agency, that is L&T Vadodara, has faced a lot of difficulty at site also during execution of this project. So my suggestion is, as far as possible, avoid circular intake and try for a rectangular type of intakes. This is some of a pump test we undertake for submersible pumps. You can see curves, hydraulic performance curves, as I discussed earlier. Based on this only, their duty is met. Whether it is met the duty, such an observation is done. You can see the red, it is a actual duty, whether it is attained. If it is below the graph, it hasn't attained. If it is above the graph, above the actual point, it is attained. Then only acceptance comes. These are the floating type of pump sumps. Here on a boat, I think 2 pumps are placed, and it is dropped into the lake. It with the variation of water, this floating pump arrangement is moving up and down. Now it is in a dry situation. This study was done 2 months back for surge analysis. See, you can see delivery pipeline, plastic, flexible one. But this is the pump house. This is a floating in a Urmudi Dam near Satara. This is some investigation we have done for Kirloskar Brothers Limited, Pune. This is ongoing on. We are investigating with the dimensional measurements, the type of pump, design of pumps. But here, what they have suspected is there are Kirloskar very good for fast-moving Kirloskar typical Kirloskar pumps. They are very big. They are in very big demand in market. But they could find that there are similar pumps appearing in the market with the same specification, but they feel that it is not theirs. But in some other disguise, it is appearing in the market, and they are making heavy loss on its sale. So they wanted to have an investigation with the actual verification of dimensions, whether the many models or specimens with this kind of specification is available in the market is really of their manufacturing or some other branch. So we found that it is very similar, but the pump is not theirs. So this is a marketing duplication. You can say that investigation is being done now. I talked about the circular pumps. This is one circular pump proposed in near West Bengal, Damodar Valley Corporations, Maithon River. You can see they have proposed pump sump in the center. This is the circular pump. This one can see climbing this one. Very interior of the river it is placed. And to take the delivery pipe, you can say flyover like a big, and more than hundreds of crores are spent on implementation of this pumping system within the river, center of the river. And this has gone very, very against the efficient use of the implementation of the system. They had to have a rethink. Now, as a standby, they have used the sea. By compulsion, they are using the bank for lifting the pumps with the different arrangement. So this somehow this did not work well with the Ramanathapuram, I think steel industry, in that private industry, and they have spent a lot of energy on implementation of this pump and take structure. Here also circular pump and take has not helped them to have a very optimized system performance. You can see in same in Damodaran Valley Corporation, you can see how absurd manner pumps we can see installed without caring for the guidelines required in this one. This is inside the river, and to have a proper water level, 36 borehole are dug and water is poured into this pump sump from the through borehole, because they are starved of water in the river. This is the very, very bad situation of water scarcity in West Bengal and Damodar Valley region. This is one study we have done for Trombay, that is Tata Power. Same 4 pumps were installed on the sea, and it is some piece located inside the sea. There is no scope for any modifications. We have done an investigation since they were facing a lot of problem in getting a sufficient water for their cooling systems of a thermal plant. Now we have given certain recommendations with the change the impeller housed in the same scroll casing. I believe they are implementing it, and without any addition of pump, we are trying to solve the problem with the recommendation of new changed delivery structure as well as runner. Okay, this is the view of this pump house. This is the view of ships, etc. This is the pump house located. This photo taken from the pump house. Okay, this flow measurement done for Jharkhand government. In conclusions, what I would say is CWPRS is having a time-tested history of conducting physical model studies for numerous pump intakes for various clients such as NTPC, BRC, SAIL, NJPNL, Natpa Jakri Power Limited, then and other major pump users. This experience should help toward our movement on CFD. CFD should help the fraternity in a big way, especially academicians are also joined in a big way in this field. I think there are this avenue is open for many academicians to have their own research work. Based on the general design data available for pump sump design, CFD model studies can be used as a tool to construct a primary design of pump sump for a particular field condition. This reduces the time involved in physical model studies. Yes, CFD is a very good tool to have initial studies. It should be supported with validation. If that is done and agreed, then there should not be any hitch. But physical model studies plays a role in validation of this kind of CFD studies, and also the literature or data available with my experimental studies should help to propose new CFD studies. With this, I conclude. Should you have any questions? You are welcome, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Delegates, if you have any questions, please ask. Sir, I have actually two questions.
Okay.
Uh, See, you said that the approach velocity should be less than 0.3, and
Not point
right?
3. Point 3.
You
Zero
sorry,
point 0.3. Yes. Yes. Yes.
0.3, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what happens if approach velocity increases beyond this value, and how it affect the performance of the pump? That is the first question.
Yeah.
The second question is, uh, you shown that the swirl angle measurement,
Yeah.
the experimental, there is a large gap between the experimental and the CFD data,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how this or what is the reason for that? These are the two questions.
Yeah. In first question, I shall try first. Here, 0.3 metro is specified because to in not exactly in mechanical engineering angle, it is a civil engineering aspect, not to have it is settlement of sediments at the bottom. So it should be, if it is very less than 0.3 also it's a problem, sediment. And higher velocity also means it will be having a higher, higher velocity transfers scenarios. Higher velocity means problem is there for cavitation, air entries, then stagnation in corners. These are the issues. So we limit, but pondage should be increased so that the water should be always available for suction. So area or volume of sump should be increased and velocity should be decreased. Another option is to have higher velocity but lower volume of, so construction cost can be decreased, but a via media solution is possible only with some experimentation. 0.3 is not a rule as this one. It is a practicality comes how far we can accommodate higher velocity and still have a healthy sump. Okay, you
Okay.
got this point?
Yes.
Second is variation in actual angle measure. This is actually limit of CFD analysis. See, we are having so many boundary conditions, initial conditions, then so many assumptions. Grid size is also matters, but I am not an expert on this CFD, but I am of course I have a reasonable exposure to experimental studies. But here mismatch of theory from practical only makes the problem, and this worsens when we are going for adverse conditions, adverse hydraulic conditions. And it is usually said sump studies is one area where the quality makes much different than quantity. So suppose if you have got one scenario, 2 pumps working in a sump of say 10 pumps, it will be different at the center 2 pumps working and the extreme 2 pumps working, and alternate 2 pumps working and immediate 2 pumps working. So this is a qualitative study. You can't with the rule you can't say. That is why pump sump studies is here green always, because it is a qualitative study. It is, we can't have a tailor-made solution for all situations. It is always a site-specific study.
Okay,
It is
sir.
qualitative analysis, and we can have and always we make videos, photos, then dye injection, because the impression we get from the visual observer is very superior than a table of some experiments. Recently, we were involved in for Indore Narmada project. One L&T has given fetch the order for 10 model studies they have conducted, and fixed the agency. They have given the order, and they have got all the model studies done by a single agency. But they made it a very particular that one model study should be certified by CWPRS. So we have gone to their works, we have certified, and witness test we have done. And this all arrangement was done with video conferencing, and all cameras were available, all angles, so that this all propagation, separation, vortex formation, everything is observed on camera than actual tabulation in the experimental report. So I believe so some study is never it can be documented and presented. It is a visual observation, and I have shown in the first lecture how actually cavitation occurs, helical verification. This kind of observation cannot be actually highlighted by an equation or a statement. It can only felt by actual visual observation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any further task? Yeah.
One more question is there.
Yeah.
From our chat box, Vinodoyam,
Yeah.
mud
Yeah.
getting into impeller, preventing its free rotation is a common problem for pump operations. Is there any remedy for this?
No, please, could you please repeat?
Mud
Huh?
getting into impeller,
Yeah.
preventing its free rotation.
Yeah.
It's a common problem for pump operations.
Yes.
Is there any remedy for this?
Yeah. Remedy is that type of pump you should be very careful. Open impeller is one option. Because mud or this kind of any foreign matter, slurries or stones, this kind of thing entering in a confined impeller within shrouded by all its casing boundaries, it is a problem. It is prone to have problems. So open impeller is one issue. Type of impeller we may have to choose in such a situation. But large pumps and large impeller size should not make much difference. We have seen so many pumps deploying on the duty of this corporate municipal corporations, carrying dead bodies, animal bodies. This situation is there. I have seen a Logro plant in Mumbai, but the problem is not very severe. The pumps should be, I believe, this kind of application little over capacity with the large hydraulic distances available, more clearances. This kind of pump should have more clearances.
Okay, sir.
Not a optimum design. Cut to kite design is not possible in this. Something like this. See, a bulldozer can't think of something like very optimization, high efficiency. It should be sturdy and tough, right? The
Yes.
application is that we can very good domestic car will be having very efficient performance, but in a very smooth regime. But for tougher task, the design also need to be very tougher. So I think this kind of slurry mud applications, we need to have over size or designed equipment is required. This is my general observation. You may think on that, but optimization is not possible in the tough, adverse applications.
Okay, sir. Any other questions?
Here I would like to add, in most of the centrifugal pumps and many similar pumps, the clearances available in between this pump impeller and casing is in millimeters, and there is one parameter called, you can see also, water cut diameter. That is the small gap, but on continuous usage of that impeller, that usually becomes widen because of erosion or wear and tear. What they do is, after some time, they remove the impeller, inspect the casing, then again bring close to the design, undercut that diameter by actually welding the portion and then grinding again. Okay, you got it?
Yes, sir. Sir, over to Abubakar, sir.
Okay. So in the morning we had sessions by academicians. That was an insight to engineering fluid dynamics. In the afternoon, we had the session just now. that is application of fluid dynamics in industry. So this session was particularly the industry in which, that is fluid machine or flow machines, pumps and turbines, and also some civil infrastructure. So that is the topic discussed was the critical aspects of turbines and critical aspects of pumps, and civil infrastructure means that some intake covered. So even though this is not directly an industry, they are the people who certify these machineries or heavy, very big. You might have seen their size from the photographs. So heavy machineries for the buyers. So the buyer will be interested in its performance, and supplier also will be interested. So they are the neutral agency, as he was claiming, between the seller and buyer. And in his presentation, he has highlighted the challenges that is faced while testing in the real sites. So the accessibility problems, lot of difficulties. So how to tackle all these difficulties and how to get the accurate and best results. So the industries are interested, industries are doing business, and they are interested in making profit or money. So they are more concerned about the efficiency. A fraction of efficiency drop or hike may be a lot of money for them. So they need a proper measurements with the accurate results. And so the CWPRS are doing their best to get it tested in the best possible way. So so the participant might have got how challenging is in the real industrial scenarios than compared to what we study in the academics. So he was talking a lot about that pump intake. But you might have never, in our syllabus, that some design is not at all a topic in most of our textbooks. But what we know is NPSH, that is net positive suction head. And you know that net positive suction head required and net positive suction head available. So for a better performance of a pump, the net positive suction NPSH available should be greater than the NPSH required by a pump. So if Searle or Vertex, etc. may be there due to the improper design of the sump, so there will be losses in the available head. And that also, when it is entering to the intake line, this salts and this will create secondary flows and turbulences, which will cause pressure losses. So once there is a loss, the available NPSH will be reduced or lost. So there may be cases where it may go beyond or less than the required NPSH. So that's why this and some design is important. So what mechanical engineers or what we know is only NPSH available and NPSH required. So the some design is important in terms of our NPSH available. And so I thank Mr. Abdul Rahman, scientist of CWPRS, for taking the pain to prepare 2 sessions and presenting the 2 sessions at a stretch, utilizing and sharing his vast experience with the fluid machineries testing in the real sites, and he has covered a lot practical real case studies, and I hope this will be that all participants has got an exposure how a realistic site is, what are the challenges, also he covered or he just the importance of CFD. So most of their work is experimental fluid dynamics, but nowadays the CFD is developing and coming. So experimentation and CFD together can reduce a lot of time needed for even in the experimentation studies. So hope all of us will get benefited from this. Once again, I thank Mr. Abdul Rahman. Also, we hope that we can have more interaction in future also. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sir, we have